this is, I thought it was AI. Are we sure it's not AI?
Jamie, I'm guessing you may have seen the video of Choose Your Fighter from the Democrats. Can't be. I'm like,
this is so brutal.
And
this is real.
And the fact that Alex and Jasmine decided to partake in this is what makes it even more pathetic. But we'll play it.
God, I hate this.
It's brutal. Oh my God.
Oh, with the punching. No. Oh, come on. Really?
I thought it was fake. No, this is real. This is what.
I just want to know who gets put up to this and they think, yeah, this will work. This is a great idea.
Oh my God.
This is exactly what we need right now. And you end up having the Asian lady who was in the video. I don't remember what congresswoman that was, but you could tell that she's a lot older and just like trying to do that physically, like she could barely move. And I'm just thinking, you almost have to wonder if this is like some form of self-sabotage of the party, because this is like going to end up becoming a running joke now, that all they care about are memes and virtue signaling. But to actually do anything of substance, like demanding that we have single-payer health care, that we have a living wage, that we end forever wars, that we have clean drinking water. You know, they make a big deal about the fact that the Supreme Court shot down Trump's determined goal of, reducing whatever funding is USAID, which is in just like a couple of billions of dollars. They get all excited about that happening, that the Supreme Court shut that down. But the Supreme Court allows for even more poisoning of our water supply, ocean dumping, things like that. You see, they're very quiet about that, even though that's something that definitely directly affects our lives. And so I'm just wondering, and I mentioned this at the top of the podcast, Lincoln said it best when he said, you can fool some of the people all of the time. You can fool all of the people some of the time. You cannot fool all of the people all of the time. And I'm wondering if we're entering that phase of, I've seen this game played before, and you're not going to play me this time. I'm not getting fooled this time. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they're fooling anyone with this. Fooling some of the people any of the time, that would be quite the stretch. But I mean, we see them substituting affect and I guess what they consider messaging for any kind of movement on policy, because they're hemmed in by the demands of the business sector. They're hemmed in by the economy, by the demands of capital. And I mean, if you really want to understand this shift, it's not just a matter of these particular Democrats being shitty people, right? Like that's definitely part of it.
Right.
And I'm not letting them off the hook. But there are also these overdetermining factors going back to the 1970s and the neoliberal turn, where we had, due to a variety of factors, including oil shocks, including stagflation, the capitalist economy went wacky, and capital took advantage of this crisis to gain the upper hand on labor, on the working class. And since then, we've seen sort of a feedback loop, right, of the Democratic Party abandoning labor because labor had less power to offer them. And as a result, labor became even less powerful. So this is a process that's been going on for a pretty long time. And some people think of this era that we're in as part of the long 1970s still, this long decline, otherwise known as the neoliberal era, which really seems to also be coming to an end now, as the final squeeze that the neoliberal set of policies and ideologies and all that stuff has been all in an effort to squeeze that last bit of juice, last bit of productivity, that last bit of growth out of the capitalist system. Even these policies are not, they're not squeezing it any longer. And I think whatever comes next, it might be even worse than this, or it might be better. I don't know.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, Peter. And I said to you, like, it really does feel to me that the people at the top at this point realize the implosion of the empire, and they're just grasping for whatever they can get on their way out the door at this point. So it isn't such a concern for anything beyond right now. They don't think long term because there really is no long term. And then the people that are in that video, they're just useful idiots.
I definitely agree. And I also think that there has to be some type of an acceptance of where the system is going. Jamie, we haven't been acquainted before, but I'm in the ultimate capitalist profession. I'm in commercial real estate. So I deal with people in exceptionally high net worth brackets. But what will surprise you is that while there are the people that are the embodiment of everything that's wrong with our capitalist system, there's quite a few people with a lot of money to their name who are scared to death of where this country's going and how there's a level of uncertainty that exists where there really is this sort of ultra capitalist class that's above the people that have 10 to $100 million to their name. It's the people that are in this quasi rulers of the world billionaire class that are, it's like I said to Jen, and I say it constantly, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, who you want to argue is the most tyrannical billionaire. But when you look around at people like Bezos and Gates and Thiel and people like that, like they think that they're playing God. And I think that they get off on that. I think they really, yes. So you are now privy to Jen's wonderful artwork. So this is the Jen.
Well, I mean, this is the new Oligarch Chronicles. We used to have the other Oligarch Chronicles, and now this is the new Oligarch Chronicles. But yes, this is my interpretation of these douche canoes.
Yeah, we're going to have to expand the map at some point. And
I know, but these four are good. These four are good symbols. I mean, this works.
Yes. And while I don't think that social media is indicative of where people are in their everyday lives, why do you, just from your perspective, you live in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that there is this sort of this simping, if you will, for the true ruling class? Like people look at Elon and they think he's cool. And
who looks at him and thinks he's cool?
Yeah, citation dated.
Yeah, well,
Jamie and I do not look at him and think he's cool. I assure you.
He has some fanboys. I think they're definitely in the minority.
Incels, a whole bunch of incels. Who else likes him?
Yeah, no, that's it. But like, it's ideology, right? Because that is the model of progress that we have all been sold as Americans growing up in school. Like the thing that makes progress is these captains of industry, right? It wasn't the workers who worked for Henry Ford. It was Henry Ford. He made the cars happen, and people. So like, it's not that surprising that people would view progress that way and that they would have this like great man theory of history when that's all they've ever been taught. That said, Elon Musk is a particularly charisma-less example of this so-called great man. I mean, at least the ruling class of the past had some style. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's ridiculous to me. He's ridiculous. He honestly, I don't know any women that like him. I don't know a single woman that likes him.
Absolutely
unless you work for the Mossad and you're trying to entrap him and you get pregnant. I'm just saying.
Whatever. He is one of the most unappealing people I can think of.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever had sex. Like, I'm pretty sure all of his children were created via IVF.
I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of them were.
And
I
read that he engineered them all to be boys, and that's why he's so mad that his daughter is trans.